All right, we are live. Welcome back, everyone. J-Bone here for Smash This Podcast. Hashtag MLW Mondays. MLW Fusion review coming at you. Hope you all had a tremendous weekend. I had a great weekend. Celebrated my father's 82nd birthday and my son's 13th birthday. Son's a teenager now. Oh my God. And he's such a little mini me, it's not even funny. So yeah, hope you all had a good weekend. Hope you all smashed your Monday. And speaking of smashing, don't forget to smash that like button and smash that sub button if you're new to the content, if you're not subbed yet, and ring that bell for notifications so that you know when more of my content hits your screen. And baby, you know it's cold outside. So don't forget to get yourself some warm and cozy Smash This Podcast merch down below in the description. There's tees, tanks, and for your holiday needs, some cozy sweatshirts. I'm going to be getting one myself soon. Well, my wife got me a special one. It was pre-ordered. It's a little different than what's on the website, but it's special. She's a good wife. Pretty slick. So yeah, there's something I found just before we went live. I found an article excuse me, on ringsidenews.com. So before I get into this this review for episode number 34, I'm going to read part of this article. This is, hey, Blood Rain's in the chat. Good evening to you. Hey, yo, looks like Kurt Bauer put out a stinging tweet earlier yesterday. Yeah, this is probably concerning that. I literally just found this. So yeah, the tweet. I'll read the tweet and then I'll read the article that goes along with it for those of you who don't know this. Somebody tweeted at Kurt Bauer. Kurt Bauer runs MLW. Said, hey, Kurt Bauer, MLW, you like bringing in the best luchas in the world, get Garza Jr. booked. Kurt Bauer responded with, we brought in Garza along with Ultimo Ninja this past spring. They vanished. Blowing off pre-tapes to meet across town with WWE talent relations and negotiate deals. Super talented guys, but that was unprofessional and puts you on my do not disturb list. Sketchy move by WWE too. So that's the tweet I'm assuming you're talking about. Ripped off. He had them booked. Yes. And it continues on. So the article goes as such. WWE is targeting, like I said, this is from ringsidenews.com. This is at the top of the page here. Just appeared tonight when I was prepping for this after work. WWE is targeting a lot of indie wrestlers, and at this point, regardless of whether they have already made a name for themselves, the thirst for new talent I need to blow this up. Jesus, so damn small. There we go. Sorry. I'm like, the type is like real thin. It's like, and I'm freaking Coke bottles aren't helping, apparently. All right. Recently on Wrestling Observer Radio, Kurt Bauer, owner of Major League Wrestling, said, I had guys at Wally Mania approached by WWE people backstage in the green room about signing. I'm like, you can't do that. I'll give you a freebie. Don't do it again. Boom. They do it again. I had to send a cease and desist to WWE. That's called tortious interference. Tortious interference. I'm probably pronouncing. Oh my God. It's Monday. Probably pronouncing that wrong. Bauer seems to have doubled down on his previous statements by notifying fans that things are still not okay between WWE and MLW. We brought in Garza along with Ultimo Ninja this past spring. They vanished. But okay, I read that. Said on Twitter. Bauer is a former WWE writer, so maybe the company is keeping an eye on who he is bringing in because he is of his previous knowledge of the business. They obviously like something about MLW's roster because WWE is also targeting former MLW champion Shane Strickland, even though he won't be able to come in so soon due to contractual issue with another company. I wonder if that's Lucha Underground, like he's still under contract with them. I'm not going to go to that article and check that out, but I'm assuming that's what it is. To make matters even more interesting, it seems like WWE doesn't really care about this either. We will keep you updated as we hear new information, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, I did read that earlier this past spring. And, it's one thing. Well, I mean, it's still shitty. It's one thing if, you're just an independent company and you're not even doing iPay-per-views and you're just doing local shows and you have someone stop by because you've got some hot homegrown talent. That's one thing. MLW has a TV deal, though, and they have contracted people. Now, granted, they do work with other companies like Impact Wrestling and such to work around scheduling. But, damn, it's, and we just talked about this. We literally just talked about this. The whole thing with LAX and Impact and Evolve is like it's in the same... it's in this. Well, it was more. They said it was more because they didn't want LAX losing to an NXT team. Yeah, that's part of it, but you also know there's going to be some people, whispering in their ear and shit. Racist Fan Rocks is in the chat. What's up to you? Good to see you here. The E is full force trying to kill everyone, yet no one is asked to court over contract tampering. Oh, well, the fact that Kurt sent out a cease and desist does say something. So he's obviously knowledgeable enough to do that. So it is something. It's basically it may sound like a slap on the hand, but it's still a legal document, as far as I know. And I don't really know shit about that, but it's... But anyways, so yeah. ROH has caught WWE more than once doing it, yet they did nothing. Yeah, that's why they went to the whole um, waiting X amount of weeks after so and so's contract was done. Um, I can't think of who they did it. I think the most notable one was the Undisputed guys, Cole and his whole crew that joined NXT. I think they waited X amount of weeks or days or whatever it was so that it couldn't be considered tampering. But yeah, it is what it is. They're the big dog and they're gonna do whatever the hell they want. Vince and his cojones and his, team of stooges. Um, I saw. I'm gonna just talk about this for a second, then I'm gonna get into the review. I have like head. You ever guys on your smartphones? You whispering sweet nothings in their ear. Oh, God. You you guys ever on your smartphones and you get like headlines, like depending on what sites you visit the most, and sometimes you'll have news headlines, wrestling related stuff just pop up on your screen on your phone as a notification. I get that once in a while. It's like a Google thing will throw it at you because I have a Google phone, Google Pixel. I had a headline tonight, and you guys know I don't watch Raw, but I still know stuff from seeing stuff on social media, so I know who's heel, who's facing whatever. I don't care. It's just I'm just saying I know. Okay. But I saw the headline pop up on my phone as I was leaving work tonight, and it said something to the effect of WWE or Raw uses no, it was WWE uses Seth Rollins to explain that Raw sucks. And I'm glad I wasn't driving when I read it because I probably would have wrecked my car laughing so fucking hard. Did that actually happen on Raw? Rollins actually talking to the crowd about how bad the show has sucked lately? Oh my God. Talk about shooting yourself in the freaking foot even more. It's one thing to acknowledge the fans. He told it to Corbin. But Corbin has anything to do with what happens on Raw. Okay, he's the GM, but he doesn't have anything to do. That's stupid. That's even stupider. It's laughable. It's so laughable at this point. It's not even funny. Why don't you just have Vince McMahon walk out there and, my show sucks ass and you can suck it and whatever. Why don't you just do that? Oh my God. That right there, after the 2 worst weeks of your show in history, and now you're saying it. And that's the go home show, folks, for a special, the TLC. That's your go home show. Oh my Dear Lord, it's the freaking comedy hour. All right, let's talk this before I just piss myself laughing in my chair here. MLW Fusion, episode number 34. We're wrapping up this year in grand fashion. Some very entertaining stuff in this episode. Starts out with Jason Cade versus Teddy Hart. Talking about in one of the next shows, we're going to have Teddy Hart versus Pentagon Jr. And that's going to... They can't do much with Phoenix because he's out with an injury. Groin injury or whatever. But they're still building up this feud with the Hart Foundation. Basically, over X amount of weeks, it sounds like they're building up the next opponents for the Lucha Brothers for their tag team championships. So Teddy Hart's going to face Pentagon soon. And then they're going to have the Stud Stable? I can't think of what they're... The Blondes? I can't think of what they're called. The Blondes are going to... the Blondes of the Stud Stable. Whatever the hell they're called. I can't think of it. Sorry. They're going to face the Hart Foundation in another up-and-coming show that's getting taped this coming week. On Thursday and Friday, they got a combo deal. They got one show going on Thursday. It's a Never Say Never, and the next night is 0 Hour, and that's the one, the Dirty Blondes. Thank you. Is that it? Yeah, that is it. Yeah, you're right. Thank you. See? Another great example of my viewers. I love it. The hell was I going to say? Anyways, so that's what's... Oh, yeah. So MLW is going to be live this coming Friday. Now, of course, I'm a devout reviewer of this. Unfortunately, I never do catch this live. I always watch the YouTube videos because I don't have the BN Sports network on my cable. Spectrum is like the only ones that don't have BN Sports. Otherwise, I'd watch it on the channel, which is fine. I don't care how I get my content. I'm just appreciative that MLW puts it on YouTube like a day later, which is fine. And then so it's aired on Friday, comes on YouTube on Saturday. I get the notification. I'll watch it Sunday and or Monday and review it sometime during the course of Monday. Which then entail is my hashtag MLW Mondays. Blood Rain says we don't have BN here either. Okay, so I'm not the only one. Yeah, I mean, just for shits and giggles, let me know in the chat or in the comments. I'm just curious. Let me know how, if you watch these reviews, let me know how you watch MLW Fusion. I'm just curious. And I think if anybody from MLW actually watches my reviews, not that I'm like begging them to or anything, but I think they'd be curious too as to see, how many people watch it on YouTube. I mean, the views on YouTube are really good. They get tens of thousands of views. And for a growing indie company with TV that's not everywhere, that's pretty good. Someone links to YouTube to discuss PW every week. Yeah, it's on there. And I know, my reviews for this are obviously on my YouTube channel, but I put this on wrestlingwithwrestling.com. Someone from wrestlingwithwrestling.com always puts it on there too. So that's great. That's good. Those guys that discuss PW are good too. They review a few different things. Jason reviews the ROH, and then they got a couple guys, Jason and I don't know what the other guy's name is. That damn Mark or whatever he's called. They review Impact Wrestling. Fun guys to listen to. We've kind of connected over the course of this past year. We haven't worked yet together, but I'm looking forward to doing that in the future. I've made a few connections this year, and it's all in a sense of, and Big Dog, yes, thank you, Blood Rain, yes, you are correct. And it's all just, growing the brand, making connections, sharing the love of the podcast, and that's all it is, and it's a positive thing. So I mean, like this year has been a great year for Smash This Podcast as far as growth. We're up to 575 subs. I think that's pretty damn good. So reviews. I hear you. So yeah, Jason Cade faces here, like Captain ADD is talking about everything but the show. But you guys are still here, and I appreciate that. Jason Cade faces Teddy Hart in a hell of a match. From an up and coming kid like Jason Cade, who's really becoming a good heel. He's not in any major storylines. His last storyline was with what was his name? Jimmy Yuta. And that was a pretty good story. I mean, it was like a middleweight story, It wasn't any like heavyweight contention thing going on. It was just two guys that tagged together, and then they had a good feud. But Jason Cade still is, healing it up. We haven't seen Jimmy for a while. But Teddy Hart's out there with Brian Pillman Jr. Brian Pillman Jr., what a riot. He was going around the ring the entire time with his phone, and he was I don't know, he was live or he was filming himself, and he was just walking around like this the whole time and screaming into his phone with the fans in the background. It was just hilarious. And he interfered a little bit. He had his cane out there. It's one point the ref was distracted, and he hit Jason Cade in the face with the cane. He was, did a Rick Bocchini said he hit him with his elbow, but he didn't hit him with his elbow. He hit him with the cane. Similar to how Triple H hits you with the sledgehammer, puts the fist over the thing. It still hurts, obviously. But, so yeah, little interference there from Brian Pillman Jr. Just watching this kid grow and have guys like the Hart Foundation around him. Man, if you've watched it over the course of this year and watching this kid develop and, grow his character, it really is something special, because these guys are going to be a staple on this show for a decent amount of time. I don't know how long they're contracted for, but I've got a feeling. Well, I know Brian Pillman Jr. is contracted. I'm not sure about Teddy Hart and Davey Boy Smith Jr. I've heard about people signing contracts throughout the year, I'm guessing for the remainder of 2018, way back earlier in the year. I don't know if you follow the website and get the newsletter, you get these news bits as far as who's debuting, who they're signing. I mean, Kurt Bauer's really trying to get contracts in these kids, and it's smart. It's smart. If you're trying to grow a TV brand and be competitive with everyone else out there and put on a good product, hell yeah, I'd be trying to, put people under contracts and make them mainstays if they're good quality workers, especially when you got veterans like the Hart Foundation and young up-and-comers like Brian Pillman Jr. Just, yes, his dad would be proud. It's exactly Blood Rain. Damn Skippy. His father would be damn proud of him. And it's also cool to have him on this brand and have a veteran like Tony Schiavone talking about him. I mean, he treats him like a heel, but when you've got the Hart Foundation out there, no matter how much they're healing it out. Okay, it's funny because in this situation, Jason Cade was actually, in a sense, acting like a bigger heel than Teddy Hart. When Teddy Hart goes out there, yeah, he's a heel, but he gets a lot of love from the crowd. So does Brian Pillman Jr. Even though they act like it's kind of like the NWO getting the love, that same kind of, the heel gets the pop. I don't know how else to describe it, but you know what I'm saying. You guys aren't stupid. But yeah, good match between Teddy and Jason. Teddy getting the win here. Great back and forth match, though. Holy cow. This one could have went either way, but of course, Brian being out there, you got the advantage. Conan then is, his beef with Selena De La Renta. Oh my God. It's just getting heated. In fact, Selena De La Renta's crew is just getting heat from all angles now. Between Conan and Team Filthy unraveling and Lawler going after them too. Man, she's losing control quick. She really is. And this show was evident of it. I mean, she's got her cool. She keeps her cool. And she's very focused and she's very determined. She's very sly and she's very cunning. But this episode, you can tell things are starting to unravel between her and the champ Low Key. And they don't have everything together. I mean, I'm not saying things are bad between Low Key and Selena De La Renta, but if things keep going unraveling like this, Selena De La Renta is she's gonna lose her champ. And her champ's going to lose focus. And if her champ loses focus with all the drama going on, as we saw in this episode, Tom's going to snatch that championship up quick. I mean, I'm really hoping he does, because I really think the more that I see them making, I mean, looking at Tom Lawler, he's not really an underdog. Even though he's kind of getting treated like an underdog because he's getting outnumbered a lot. But I look at him kind of like you're going to the Waffle House. Why are you talking about waffles? Now I'm hungry. Have a waffle for me. Some chicken and waffles. That sounds delicious. I'll have a piece of leftover birthday cake. I don't know. Although cake really does not go with beer. Oh, shnikes. So yeah, what else we got here? Oh my god. Marco Stunt. Marco Stunt versus AC baby. Ace Romero. Whew. What did they say Marco Stunt is? 5'2", 140 some pounds. Not even 150. Ace Romero, what did he say? Every bit of 6 foot and 400 some pounds. Good God. No, but you know what? This wasn't a squash match. As much as you're like, oh, he's gonna kill Marco Stunt. He's gonna kill him. This was a lot of fun. Marco Stunt is a tough little bastard. And the more I see him on this brand, it just makes me so sad that he's going to be out for such a long time. Um, However long it is for his, what did he get? A broken leg at the CCW show a month ago, a few weeks ago, whatever it was. Damn. But he's so much fun to watch on this brand because he's a little ass kicker. I mean, he's really getting a fan base behind him. And fans love Ace Romero too. Although in this case, Ace Romero wasn't getting the love like he usually does. Like he usually does at like a House of Hardcore show. Or a couple others I've seen. Mostly House of Hardcore. So the fact that Tommy's part of MLW too makes even more sense that he's bringing some of his House of Hardcore regulars. I mean, it could be all Kurt Bauer, but you got to think that okay, if Tommy's working with them too, it's just another sign of companies working together. If Tommy's working with Tommy's all over the place for crying out loud. He's one of the hardest working guys. He's got his House of Hardcore. He's working with Impact Wrestling. He's working with MLW. Jiminy Christmas. Where is he not working? Oh, WWE. Speaking of House of Hardcore, I just want to quick say I heard about the news of Big Cass falling down and having a seizure over the course of the last couple of days. I just want to send out my love and thoughts and prayers towards Big Cass. I'm sure the news is going to come out eventually as far as what's really wrong with him. Tommy made it very clear he was with Big Cass all day, so he said it's not drug related. You hope to God that's not just. I mean, I like to think that Tommy Dreamer is one of those guys that you can really put faith and believe in. And Tommy's not going to bullshit you. Tommy talks, he's pretty freaking real. I mean, he loves the business and he's going to put on a good show and he's not going to BS you. And that's across every format that he's a part of. Doesn't matter what company, MLW, his company, Impact, whatever. So yeah, I just, whether you like Big Cass or not, I just hope he's okay. I mean, he deserves the work, I think a good chunk of why he's gone had to do with the whole Enzo thing. No one's really going to know like everything why they were fired. I'm sure there was some other heat from some other stupid stuff that happened or something. Heard about some relationship issues or something. I don't know. But he still deserves to have some kind of job in wrestling out there. I enjoyed watching him when I saw him at the House of Hardcore show in Waukesha. you know, and how much of that was truth that he was spitting out, a week before he collapsed now? I don't know. As far as showing up at some other company, I don't know if this is going to deter that or not. Hell, could have been MLW. Who knows? Could have been Impact. Don't know. But anyways, hell of a match between Marco Stunt and Ace Romero. Ace Romero winning with what I would dub as his version of the Black Hole Slam. I don't know if Ace calls it something different, but it's pretty similar to what Abyss uses in Impact Wrestling. It's pretty impactful move. But man, just crazy. I don't know how much more we're going to see of Marco Stunt. That might have been the last of his matches at this taping. Of course, he got injured right after the Chicago tapings, unfortunately. So that's pretty much going to be where it's at with him as far on this show. Do I hope we see him pop up somewhere else soon? Absolutely. I mean, I don't know if he signed a contract with MLW, but damn. I mean, Marco Stunt's hot. He's kind of I don't know. I don't want to call him an oddity, but I don't know what else to call him. I think you can call him a special attraction just because he is uniquely small, but he can also kick a lot of ass. I mean, with him whipping around the ring in his code breaker, geez Louise. Not too many can not too many people can whip around the ring like that and put on that kind of a show and be that size. That's pretty unique. Get your merch from what? Speaking of merch, as far as like injured people this time of year, if you are thinking of getting some, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again throughout the season, if you are thinking about getting some merch, I plug my merch once in a while. I don't plug it enough, but I did at the top of the show. If you want to buy some merch this year from someone, consider going to ProWrestlingTees.com and consider buying something from someone that's a little more down on their luck this season. Someone that doesn't have the chance to make all the appearances and wrestle like they want to, like Joey Ryan, Marco Stunt, among many others. They have a special page up. SammyGuevara.com. We're getting to Sammy. Sammy was part of the headlining match in this episode. Tremendous match between, and I've been waiting for this. If you watch my stuff, I love me some Sammy Guevara. He is one of the best, and I know he's not everyone's cup of tea. Whatever. We all have our favorites. Sammy's one of my favorites. He's so fun to watch, and I think his vlogs are just knocked out of the park awesome. I mean, he's got next level stuff like BTE quality vlogs. Between the music, his production, his drone stuff. I mean, I'm not saying he's better than BTE, but as far as quality vlogs from someone up and coming, wrestling wise on the road, go check out Sammy's vlogs. They're all pretty entertaining, and he's so goofy. I mean, he's got a bit of an ego, but It's more just him joking about it, you know. He plugs himself and in all of his matches. Go to SammyGuevara.com and buy the merch. And he's always showing off his new merch. And it's funny. But yeah, Sammy Guevara goes up against a hot debut in this company. Oh my God. Roosh. There, I finally pronounced it correctly. Hope that makes everyone happy. I've been pronouncing it for weeks as Rush. It's spelled Rush. Just whatever. Roosh, leader of Los Ingobernables. Ingobernables, yes, that's it. And he even did the and I haven't seen his work in CMLL with the Mexican version of that stable. But they say it all the time that he is the leader of that stable. Because I know a bunch of those guys that are in Japan now and doing the Los Ingobernables de Japan or de Japón, whatever. They went down to Mexico and got a big push down there and got a ton of experience and did some touring, and that's where it started down there. But from what I've heard. So I've been very curious to see the Mexican version of that somewhere. And I haven't taken the time to see CMLL. I watch the AAA stuff once in a while if they have a big event on Twitch or whatever. I don't watch a lot of CMLL. But I do subscribe to their channel, and I know they have had guys on there like Phoenix and Pentagon and stuff like that, which makes me want to watch more. It's just, you know, I watch so much stuff. I watch MLW. Lucha, well, actually, you know, I'm not watching Lucha Underground anymore because it's not on TV right now. So, you know, if I am looking for something to fill my Wednesdays, I've been trying to find something. I know I've talked about doing some Impact GWN stuff. I just haven't done it yet. But, oh, yeah. Excuse me. It's late. I apologize. I try like hell not to yawn on here. So unprofessional. Then again, J-Bone is not your typical professional podcaster. I am not politically correct. He drinks beer, he belches, farts quietly so that nobody hears him. Did you hear that? Oh, see, you missed it. But anyways, Sammy Guevara versus Roosh. Oh my God. I was pleasantly surprised. I mean, I was going into this excited because I love Sammy and he's headlining, but it's a debut of someone I've been wanting to see for a while. And Roosh just wow. The charisma, the talent from this guy, just unbelievable. Props to Kurt Bauer for bringing this kid in. Jeez Louise. He's also going to be on next week. He's going to be, where is it in my notes here? Oh, he's going to be facing Rich Swann. Oh my God. I can't wait to see that. I would almost call that a dream match. And these are all on just TV. And that's one great thing about MLW. It's like the more you watch it, the more you recognize faces on there. And yes, you see a lot of these faces in other companies like Impact or Lucha Underground or wherever. or somewhere else on the independent scene. But man, the wrestling on this show is so good. And the storylines are simple. They're not like, oh God, I don't get it. It's simple rivalries, simple storylines, and it's all done backstage, and the production's good. It's not, oh my God, the camera guy's having a seizure and I don't know what the fuck's going on that other show. No, that wasn't a rib on Big Cass. You know what I'm talking about. Sammy wanted to go to Impact, but they never signed him. Well, he was in the junior, what the hell was that called? The X Division, the X Cup. He was in the X Cup. And unfortunately, I was very back and forth with Impact Wrestling at that time and missed like over half of it, But I know Sammy was a part of that. I have no doubt that he's going to be back. One very interesting thing about Sammy that I did find out over the course of this past week is someone, and I don't know who, so I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, well, this person said this and they're an idiot. No, I'm not saying that. Someone came out and was talking about X amount of people that are signed to contracts, something. I found out that Marco Stunt is not signed to any contract with MLW or anyone. Joey Janela is also not under contract. Also found out that Sammy Guevara is not under contract. Now, he did something in a vlog once where he said he was signing his first contract. So I don't know if that was a thing with Aero Lucha where he just had to sign a form because he was going to be on TV. Because I know they're coming to TV soon. I think, well, they've been advertising on Pop TV like crazy during Impact Wrestling. So I don't know if that means that because you're used on TV, you got to sign something. But I don't think it means that he can't appear anywhere else. Obviously, he's on MLW. But yeah, I'd love to see Sammy G be part of the X Division on Impact Wrestling. But he's great on MLW too. He's, a couple of neo-Nazis. I've heard some questionable things about the Harris brothers. I've heard a couple things over the course of the last, I don't know how many years. I can't imagine. I'm not saying I don't believe you, but if you got someone like Rey Mysterio who's backing the company, who's at the forefront of the company, I can't imagine them being Nazis or whatever and having a guy like Rey Mysterio be the forefront of the company. I'm sure everybody's had bad experiences with everyone at some point in their career in wrestling, but I mean, that would be okay. Number one, if they really were Nazis, they wouldn't have someone like Rey Mysterio fronting their company, and they wouldn't be working with a bunch of Mexican talent. Nazis hate everyone. So, have they maybe done some questionable stuff in the past? Sure, maybe. But if they were really Nazis or whatever, they wouldn't have the diverse kind of talent that they have on their show. But yeah, this debut of Roosh was absolutely incredible. One thing I almost forgot is after the match, he called out LA Park. Now, they made a point to say that Roosh and LA Park have had quite the rivalry down in Mexico, and apparently they're bringing that rivalry to MLW Fusion Television. So I'm really looking forward to that because I know LA Park is a legend, and I haven't seen much of his stuff in X amount of years besides what I'm seeing now on either AAA or MLW. I saw the gimmick chair goofy stuff that he did in WCW back in the day, and then so there's 20 some years that I hadn't seen him. Now I see him a lot, so it's pretty cool. Better late than never, right? Yeah, Impact and MLW do work together pretty good, and I give both companies credit for that. That's a sign of progress. That's a positive thing in the world of professional wrestling. I mean, do you want to have people contracted on your show? Sure, that's fine, but it's also good to have a working relationship with other companies like that to work around. Okay, the Lucha Brothers want to work everywhere. Let's give them a chance to do that. Let's give them the opportunity. Let's work together to make sure that happens. Perfect example. Could be the Conan connection. Conan's got so many connections all over the place, it's not even funny. But that's a compliment to him. That's not a knock. Spin Bauer told. Too big for BN. Well, I mean, I think there's room for both companies to grow. I think there's a place for MLW that does have a past history in the world of wrestling that is like being reinvigorated now this year on BN Sports and YouTube and whatever. And I think there's also room for Impact Wrestling. I mean, Impact Wrestling is a completely different company now than it was back when in the heyday of TNA. Completely different. Different owners, different bookers, different people backstage. There's almost no one original left besides Abyss. Gail Kim works with the Knockouts. And Scott D'Amore worked with them way back in the day, and now he's back, and now he's part of the VP crew with Callis. So yeah, watching both of these companies put on good product makes me so happy as a wrestling fan. The shows are simple to watch. They put on good product. They got great rosters, good wrestling, good storylines, and storytelling. And it's so refreshing. 2018 has been such a good year for the growth of professional wrestling in the independent scene. It's not even funny. Between Ring Warriors debuting, MLW debuting this year, Impact Wrestling completely changing the face of their company and just lighting up 2018 in such a positive way. It's one of the reasons this podcast has grown. Because I'm covering all the alternatives and talking about the positives. I don't sit there and, I mean, I'll talk about constructive criticism. I'll be like, hey, you know what? There was one thing I wasn't really big on this show. This is maybe how I would change it. This is what I didn't like about it. But I'm not going to shit on what I'm talking about on a regular basis. I don't understand. Some people do that. Some people just come on YouTube and just shit on everything they're talking about. I don't. That's not productive. I come on here. I try to stay as positive as possible, and keep, talking about the good things that these companies are doing. Whether it's and I dig it, or it's, oh my God, you guys have got to see this shit. It's everything in between. But like this main event with Sammy and Roosh, man, watch it, because I've never seen Roosh before, so I was really excited to see what he would do with Sammy. And Sammy's great. Sammy is he's not like the best high flyer out there, but damn, this kid is good. This has been a good year for Sammy. And he's been all over the damn place. Oh, he also brought out the AAA Cruiserweight Championship. That was pretty cool. See, that's another good sign of companies working together. The fact that he was allowed to bring out that championship. That says something. I wonder what MJF thinks about that. Speaking of MJF, let's talk about what's coming up in this next live special. I'm not going to be able to watch it live because I don't have the beIN Sports, but I'm assuming it's going to be another 1 hour show. It's going to be live Friday because they got a combo deal. Like I said, they got the show Thursday, then they got a show Friday, and part of that show is going to be live on TV. So this is the part that's going to be shown live. It's going to be a hell of a show. You got the debut of Dragon Lee versus DJZ. 2 debuts in that match. Oh, it's going to be a barn burner. You know it. Roosh is going to be back. He's going to be facing Rich Swann. Damn, excuse me. There he goes, belching again. Oh, my God. I don't know anyone else on YouTube that belches as much as me on their shows. I'm not bragging, but damn. But it's the beer. I'm sorry. Podcasting makes me thirsty. I'm not politically correct. Just love me for who I am. That's all I say. What else we got here? Oh, okay. And the headlining match, I mean, any of these could be a headliner for crying out loud, but we're getting a fatal 4-way ladder match because MJF is unfortunately injured. The middleweight championship is up for grab, folks. We got Jason Cade. We got the debut of Andrew Everett. And Desmond Xavier also debuting, along with the, what do they call him? The Haitian sensation? I think that's what they call him. Cotto Brazil. Another tremendous up-and-coming talent on this brand. He really impressed me during the whole War Games thing, too. Now what are you cussing about? Oh, fuck being PC. I love you guys. I'm not. I mean, I try to like stay somewhat professional as far as my opinions and stuff, and I try not to cuss too much. But no, I am who I am. I come on here. I try to keep it light. I try not to whine my ass off. I have a couple beers. And you get me. What you get here is, this is me. This is Jason Haver reporting from Smash This Podcast. No, fuck that. And that's not a knock to anyone who does that. Andre Corbill puts on a hell of a show. A lot of times he's wearing a suit and tie when he's sitting behind his whatever, his office, whatever, you know. Sometimes he's real casual and he does stuff from his car. But you still get Andre Corbill no matter where he's sitting or what he's dressed up as. It's still him, you know. When he's doing interviews at the shows he's at for the companies he's representing, a lot of times he'll be in a suit. Not always, but sometimes. But yeah, good guy. Cussing brings out character, makes you not robotic. Well, I try not to cuss too much because, you know, I don't think, oh, whatever. I try not to be ridiculously cussing a lot on here. I try to keep it PG, you know. Little here, little there. Not F-bombs across the board or reading off a script. Yeah, I mean, I got my notes, but 90% of what I'm talking about is just straight off the top of my head. So, like I said, it is what it is. It's all real. It's all me. It's all J-Bone personified. So yeah, solid episode of MLW Fusion. Great debut of Roosh. Seriously, folks. Share this episode, or if they show like clips online or whatever of what Roosh is doing with Sammy, share it on social media if you're digging it, because man, I can only begin to imagine what they're going to do with Roosh in 2019 on MLW. He's going to be champ. I have absolutely no doubt that he's going to be champ. I don't know how much he weighs. I don't know if he's going to be a middleweight or a heavyweight. Although I really don't think it matters, because look at Low Key. He's like not even 200 pounds and he's heavyweight champion. So it's like whatever. But that's another nice thing about MLW is, yeah, they've got the middleweight championship, but they've got like Low Key as their heavyweight champion because he's just that damn good. He's got a great crew behind him too. Although that crew is quickly falling apart. Although now they've hired Simon Gotch. How far that's going to go, I don't know. But Conan made short work of Ricky Martinez in this episode. Oh my God. Spitting up blood. Oof. Ricky Martinez looking rough. Give me the keys. I need to get out of here. His face is all full of blood. Ooh, that Conan is brutal. I was surprised to see Shivani announcing again he was doing minor league baseball for years. Yeah, I heard he was doing baseball for a long time. He is a great part of this show. He really is. I mean, I'm an older wrestling fan. I'm 44 years old. So I appreciate WCW stuff, okay? And when I heard Tony Schiavone was the main play-by-play guy on here, and depending on where they are, they go back and forth between Bocchini and Matt Stryker. I'm partial to Matt Stryker because he's part of Lucha Underground, and I just think he's one of the best ones out there. But he and Stryker and, I mean, Bocchini and Tony Schiavone are good. But Stryker and Tony Schiavone, man. So sometimes it's funny because sometimes Matt Stryker will actually, like, in my opinion, outshine Tony, depending on what they're talking about. Matt Stryker's great for, like, telling you the histories on certain individuals that maybe Tony doesn't know as much about. That's where Matt Stryker really shines. You know, he'll do that on Lucha Underground too, or House of Hardcore. But we don't see too many House of Hardcore shows on Twitch. But I'm still a firm supporter of Tommy's stuff. So, what else is going on in the chat? I think we're going to wrap this up. It's getting late. It's almost 2:30 here, and I'm tired. And don't forget to smash that like button, folks. If you got your social media hooked up to your YouTube channel, it automatically shares on your social media then. Like for example, when I like something on YouTube, it goes straight to Twitter. Great, easy way to share what you like here. So, I was a WCW guy, so I heard lots of Shivani back in the day. Yeah, same. Was very sad about the demise of WCW. Doesn't come back. Yeah, I really hope Lucha Underground does come back. I mean, man, this time between seasons is really killing it. You know? But you got to remember, it's a TV show. You know? As much as we want Lucha Underground to be on TV all the time, like, say, like Ring Warriors or MLW, because I'm just saying because they're 1 hour shows. You got to remember, it's a TV show. It's not a wrestling brand. TV shows come and go. Unfortunately, wrestling brands are different. But damn, it's like MGM likes Lucha Underground. They're behind it. So wrestling fans, of course, like me, amongst many others, are like, what the hell? Then just give it to us, you know? Wrestling fans are selfish. They love what they love and they want more of it all the fucking time. I used to share YouTube on Twitter. Then it spammed my Twitter. got my account suspended for a day. Really? I've never seen that before. I've seen people, okay, for example, Andre Corbeil got his Twitter account suspended and his wrestlingwithwrestling.com account suspended because he promoted stuff too much. But the thing is, he threw like just a million hashtags in with his stuff. And I don't think that was healthy. As in, when he promoted stuff, it would be like this much original and this much copied. When I promote stuff, I try to do it all original. I'll use a few of the same hashtags, but I'll only use a couple and I'll type up everything original. So I'm very careful about how I promote stuff on Twitter. Because if I lose my Twitter, that's where 99% of my promotion, I mean, I still do Facebook, but just not as much. Like all my stuff goes straight to Twitter. I could set it up for my Facebook, but I've tried it before and it's not as easy for some reason. Facebook is weird. I'd have to look into that some more, but this season of Lucha Underground lowest rated. Yeah, it was, but I think it was a very good season of Lucha Underground, but it was also very different. Different surroundings, whole new temple, a lot of surprises. I know some people were excited about Jake Savage. What do they call him on the show? Jake Savage? No. Strong. Jake Strong. Was it? Swagger, you know. It took me a long time over the course of the season to really get excited about him. But by the end of the season, I was like, oh, just give him the championship. God, he's good. I forgot how good he was, you know. When you see him all the time on a show and he's not used well, you forget how good people are. I felt like even though he didn't exactly fit into the whole Lucha Underground thing, I felt like he earned his spot. Okay. And I understand not everyone got that or liked it or whatever. And that's fine. I'm not telling you you have to. I'm just saying that was me. Cross equals ratings. And that was a great example of Cross getting promoted across different formats. Unfortunately, it took for frickin' ever because he signed like 2 years ago, but finally got on the show. And of course, you know, if you love Cross, you want him to be completely just destroy everyone. Basically what he does in AAA. And he had a pretty good season in Lucha Underground. It was different. It was not what I expected at all. It was, oh my God, what the hell is he doing with this rabbit crew? You know. So here I am, Captain ADD, talking about everything but MLW, but that's okay. Not a big deal. You got your review. This is the bonus. You got the bonus package. Oh. A little bit of dice in there. I love the dice, man. All right. On that note, we're going to get out of here. hell of a show coming up. Can't wait to see that 4-way, even though we're not going to see it live. Cade versus Everett versus Xavier versus Brazil for the middleweight championship. Roosh versus Swan, and the debut of Dragon Lee versus DJZ. They may not do big numbers, but what I can guarantee you about MLW is you're going to see some good wrestling over the course of an hour. And that's why I review it. I might talk a lot of other odd stuff in between, but that's just how my brain works. That's Captain ADD over here. Look, I ended up the show talking about Lucha Underground, but I'm just kind of going with the chat because I like I like interacting with you guys. It's become a very important part of my show over the course of this last year, and it's also helped the podcast grow, is me talking to you guys, not just talking to a camera and here's my opinion and that's it. Getting your feedback is very important to me. And talking to you guys and getting your opinion on stuff, along with sharing mine and whatnot. So that's it. We're going to get out of here. We're going to crashola. We'll do some, what are we going to do on Tuesday? I don't know. The holidays are coming up, so I might not be on here quite as much. We might miss a couple things, but I'm going to try my best to stay my usual. Mondays and Tuesdays, questionable on Wednesdays. We'll still definitely do Impact Wrestling. My schedule may change coming up. I'm not sure, but that's all up in the air. As far as like work stuff, we'll see. But as the holidays get closer, I'll try to keep you guys in tune to what's going on. Like, okay, for example, like the week of Christmas, I'm probably going to take most of that off with the exception of the end of the week for Impact Wrestling and stuff. So, because Christmas Eve is on a Monday and Christmas is on a Tuesday, and I can guarantee you I'm not going to be on here. So, and you guys understand. I mean, you guys aren't like, oh, he said he's going to be on here Mondays and Tuesdays and he's not on here. You guys aren't like that. So, if you guys were like that, I'd be like, go find another channel. You guys celebrate Christmas too. I'm not stupid. Or some holiday. You can't assume Christmas anymore. Maybe top 10 current indie Impact Japanese wrestlers for a video from your own opinion. Oh, Dragon Lee comes from CMLL. Yeah, I know he was somewhere like from Mexico, yeah. Yeah, I've thought about doing a best of show. If I do, it's going to be literally probably a week after Christmas, like right at the end of the year. I'm not used to doing that kind of stuff. Some people make a really big deal out of it. If I do it, it's probably going to be a lot of shit off the top of my head as far as highlights from 2018. I'll talk about some of my favorites, some of my favorite events, and my personal experiences as far as what I saw from wrestling. Maybe we'll get a couple guests on here talking about their favorite stuff from the year. That'd be kind of cool. I like to do that. But if there's something specific you guys want to see me talk about or do as far as like year-end stuff, let me know. You know, I'm up for suggestions. You know, if you watch me, you know the stuff I talk about on a regular basis. I talk about MLW, Lucha, Ring Warriors, Impact, and then I throw in some other stuff in between here and there. So if there's some specific end of year kind of shtick that you want me to talk about and you got suggestions for, throw them at me. I am totally down for that. Best of shows for Impact again this year. Well, I heard their Vegas shows were pretty loaded, and they did some stuff in California, but we'll see. Honestly, though, as good as this year was for Impact Wrestling, I wouldn't mind a couple weeks of like best of matches of 2018. Not gonna lie, it's been such a good year, turnaround year for Impact Wrestling. I would not mind it. Honestly, would not. Years past, yeah, probably not so hot. This year, wouldn't mind because you know they're gonna pick some good shit. All right, let's get out of here. I've rambled on long enough. Tired. But I love you guys. I love rambling. It's what I do. You guys are good. And we'll be back soon talking some Ring Warriors. Haven't watched it yet. We'll watch it sometime tomorrow. We'll review it. Either tomorrow during the day or tomorrow night, depending on how the day goes. I don't have too much going on. So yeah, we'll be back. Have a good one. Thanks for tuning in for hashtag MLW Mondays, because it's still Monday right now for some, and it's Tuesday when you wake up. So don't forget to smash that like button, smash that sub button. If you're still here, God bless you. I've rambled on so long. And go get you some merch. The links are in the description. Get you some cozy Smash This Podcast sweatshirts for the holiday. I think they come in different colors. I don't know if they come in Christmas colors, but you could probably get some different colors. So if you do decide to buy some merch, hit me up on the social media. That's also in the description of this video. Let me know. I'll share it. Send me a pic. Would love to see you in that Smash merch. So we'll see you guys down the road real soon. Take care. Good night.